So our next speaker, we've got Daniela Streng. So Daniela is the VP and GM of EMEA at LogicMonitor. And in terms of what I've learned, the cool thing about her is she's been very effective at building high-performance sales teams from an outbound sales perspective, and also a kind of an AE scaling team perspective. Now, what I found really particularly interesting when we spoke was the fact that she's accepting that we're already in a new world, and that new world is now. So how can we think about delivering during this new world? So Daniela, 7 minutes is all yours.
Thank you, James. I would echo everything that Brad has just said. That is exactly, what many sales leaders are looking for, as well as obviously for other departments. A lot of things have changed for us in the last couple of weeks. Not just for us as a software company, but obviously everywhere in the world. I'm part of a US company, so we saw counties like California go into lockdown earlier on than we did, Singapore, and then we had obviously a Sweden office, which was completely different, and social distancing was based on what they made of it instead of being enforced. For us, what was the main important thing was, is everyone okay? And how is everyone adjusting to what the new situation was? So we have obviously people with children that have to take care of their children that are staying at home, as well as making sure that they're able to do their day-to-day job. We do a lot of team activities, but the crucial thing for us is something is all running in the same direction, and being that A+ player that is doing everything to help out our customers, each other, and to be part of a team. So there are three things in my mantra that I always go by. One is retention, one is revenue, and the third one is recruitment. And I just wanted to focus on those three today, because normally in my normal day-to-day, I would say, revenue and focusing on the number is the absolute most important thing. I think in today's world, what has changed a little bit, or what I would say is becoming even more important and vital, is actually retention. Retention is important for a couple of reasons for us. First of all, retaining your customers. Onboarding or gaining a new customer can be anywhere from 5 times to 25 times more expensive than keeping the customer you currently have. Customers and the relationships that you have are so important because right now the selling has changed. So it's more soft selling. It's not being able to get face-to-face with everyone and being able to meet people and build those relationships, taking someone for dinner or going for drinks. That is necessary. That has changed to Zoom meetings, which is not quite the same, let's face it. We learn from our customers. So I focus on, finding out how are my customers affected? What has changed in that particular industry? Can we form a pattern? Can we create a case study to help other companies in that industry to learn from each other? How can we provide valuable insights to our customers? So are there particular dashboards that we can help create for them to be able to monitor our customers at home, their workforce at home. Those are things that we are able to do, but it creates that relation, it reinforces that relationship, which allows us to be able to make sure that we are retaining our customers and helping them through these difficult times for them as well. The other thing that we are able to get from those are referrals. Customers who are happy and who see how our product could be helping them are able to give referrals, of which the sales team is going to benefit. The second thing that I wanted to focus on is revenue. So the way people are selling has changed. Our BTRs, for example, are now sending voice notes, something that they were kind of doing before, but now they've noticed that that's actually working a lot better than simply calling. They were calling from what our, obviously our internal system is. They were calling switchboards. We use something called Lusha, There are many other like solutions out there that are similar, but that allows us to be calling direct dials or mobile phones, and we're trying to get those meetings in. The meetings have they've come down in the first 2 weeks of April, just to shoot right back up the second 2 weeks of April, which tells me that people are getting used to the new normal, which the new normal is going to be another new normal in 2 weeks' time when lockdowns are getting released and there are different rules in different countries, but also the comfort levels of people will change. Account executives, for me, the most important thing is continue to build your pipeline. Building pipeline, normally maybe what could be standard in any of the companies that you work for is maybe 2.5 or 3 times pipeline in order to hit your number. That could change. For some companies, maybe now they need to have 5 times pipeline in order to still comfortably get to the number, which means there's a lot more PGing that needs to happen. It's something that, I know for most companies, being part of a Vista portfolio company, we get a lot of insights. I know a lot of, that's the one thing that we all are focusing on, and that I would hope all salespeople are recognizing. Tracking their metrics and making fact-based decisions. So knowing which companies to focus on right now or that are least impacted, and companies, that are highly impacted right now, like that you wouldn't want to go after, because you just know at some point you're going to get to the point where they're in a position not to make a decision. So you're better off targeting them at a later stage, potentially. Asking tougher questions. So being direct, it's something for me that I always hammer on, but more so than ever. Getting executives involved in deals, as well as getting higher up in deals faster. So encouraging that executive sponsorship for me is an absolute must right now, because if that is not happening, you just do not know where that deal is going to end up, and you could be totally wasting your time, or at least your reps are. Research and mapping is another thing that we found to be extremely useful, and it's something that I think allows us to get to our sales cycles and speed up our sales cycles faster. We have a very strict process in the company, and it's working very, very well for us. More so than ever, do we need people to stick to the process? We need to adapt the process maybe here or there slightly. However, sticking to that process allows us to get that rigor and cadence in place, and to know where we need to help anyone that could potentially be needing it. The third one is recruitment. A lot of companies, as Brad was saying, they've maybe stopped recruiting because they're on hold. They might be changing what is their headcount plan for the year. However, right now, I think top talent could be found, and we should all be pipelining for that. Not to create competition for myself, of course. However, it is a good time to find that talent, and the second you get the go-ahead to hire, you've already got everything lined up to push that button. I do think I need to be wrapping up, as James gave me 7 minutes. So for me, 3 things to focus on always are revenue, retention, and recruitment. Definitely focus on the retention first at the moment. The revenue is pretty much an even second. And then the recruitment is pipeline that for the second you get the go-ahead. This could, we, for example, could get a go-ahead in the next week. So we're ready to go.
Daniela, thank you very much for your insights, and we will bring you back on for the Q&A.